Another nice day, my lovely people. I'm so happy to be with you again. Mr. Wabara is on course. We are discussing another interesting history about the Yoruba race today. We're going to be looking at the Oyo Empire, the Oyo dynasty. Remember in our last class, we say that one of the Dudu precious sons, Oromio, was the one that founded the most powerful of the state, Oyo Kingdom. Remember the last time we talked about the existence of the Yorubas in the 19th century and their political system. We mentioned a lot of interesting structures. We look at the role of the Oro, the Oboni. We look at the Oba. We also saw a lot of things about the position, the monarchical, and also the democratic system of government. We also saw checks and balances. We saw a lot of things about the Yoruba society. Today, we are still on course to learn more about these great people. So, what are we learning exactly today? The political system of Old Oyo Empire. This will take us to our week 6 discussion, Oyo Empire, depicted here so significantly, uh, the Yoruba race. So today we will be able to explain the political structure of the old Oyo Empire. We're going to name and define the various functions and functionaries and their functions. We'll also be able to explain the various factors that led to the eventual collapse of the almighty Oyo Empire up to Ole's course on his people and eventual death. So much we're going to learn today. Oyo political system. Now, the political system in the Oyo Empire incorporated many areas of Yoruba land. Now, the Oba was the Alafin of Oyo. He's the occupant of the throne, the owner of the palace. He was seen only 3 times a year, and these were during the festivals of Ifa, Ori, and Bere festivals. Yeah, these festivals are when you see him. The Alafin was assisted by a council of 7, the Oyemesi. I mentioned the Oyemesi earlier, the kingmakers. They are the people that make kings. They help the Oba in certain decisions, and they were members of the nobility. And what are their duties? They included the selection of king as well. And as kingmakers, they were actually powerful and influential. And they had the duty of ensuring that the Alafi did not exercise arbitrary authority. So remember, the last time we said there were checks and balances. The Alafi, the Oba, once he's elected, he cannot play every role. You know, he may be the Oba, but he can't play religious roles or even judicial roles. So this Oyemesi makes sure that he did not go arbitrary. Now, the Alafi was assisted by the Esho and the Elari. Now, who are they? The Esho were a military case, and Elari, the king's representative in the districts. They represent the kings in the different districts. Now, at the head of the army, we have the war general, the Are on Kakanfu, was the war general, powerful. And to avoid a situation where he will not envy the king and the civilians, he was located to the outskirts of towns, especially where you have troubles, so that will distract him from envying the king, and he will concentrate on those issues that the land was having. Now, we also have the Oboni court. Now, the Oboni serve as check on the sexy power of the king and the Oyomesi. In our previous lesson, we saw how the Oboni court was represented, some of the structures he had in place. Then we also saw Oro, the Oboni, and their representative, their depictions. So the Oboni court serve as check on the sexy power of the king and the Oyo Messi. So the Messi will not even do arbitrarily because they are asked to check on the king. The other people are checking them. And this also restrained, they helped to restrain the people from doing what was wrong. So we can see the whole system is carefully worked out, the arrangement of checks and balances, so nobody can abuse power or use power arbitrarily in that regard. So it was a system that was well thought out and planned out to favor the people. Now, Oyo was able to use his cavalry to extend his territory. Yes, they were able to use their cavalry, the army, to extend their territory and to continue this exploit. They imported horses. Now, at the height of Oyo power, it included part of Dahomey and Badagry, Egba and Egbado. So it was they extended forward. And the forest regions inhabited by the Kiti, Ondo, and Ijebu could not be directly touched because the cavalry could not be effectively used there. It was a vast land anyway. Now, Oyo's power and influence grew as it exacted tribute from its dependent territories and used its excellent cavalry to protect its market. They started collecting tributes. Of course, it's a tributary kingdom. And it has been said that the Alafin had under his control 1,000 vassal provincial kings and ruling princes. Very great. 1,000 vassal provincial kings and ruling princes. At the point, the Oyo declined, irrespective of all this advancement and structure. It began to decline during the reign of Alafin Abiodun in 1774 to 89 and finally collapsed in 1817. And there were several reasons for this decline and fall. And it's a combination of internal and external factors. First, there was some general consideration about the size. The empire was too large to maintain. You couldn't expect the Alafi to defend it all. The distance between the center and the outlying district of the empire was too great for efficient administration. We can say that the empire was unwieldy. You cannot weld it together, bring it together. It was unwieldy. Now, secondly, the system had become repressive. Remember, the checks and balances on the power of the Alafi was able to restore, but he failed at a point, and the people no longer respected him as they had done in the past. Now, the representative of the Alafin in the provinces, the palace slave, the one we call the Elari, they exploited the people. They collected taxes that kept for themselves. And because of this corruption, the people began to rebel against the Alafin and his agent. They lost trust in him. Even the Elare people, they lost trust in them specifically. And one of the most important leaders in this struggle was Lizabi from Balan. Lizabi from Balan is noted for his onslaught. He's the Arion Akakanfo from Balan, the warrior. You will see what he did. Look at his depiction. Lizabi, please remember him. He was the brain behind the formation of the Egba military system, the Egbe Olorogun. Lizabi and his associates armed themselves with bows, arrows, slings, daggers, and hatchets, and in one day killed over 600 Elari. What a great massacre they did. Thus, it can be said that there were no spirit of patriotism, no spirit of cooperation within the Oyo Empire. We have hostility, divisions, hatred towards the central government and their representative. And that was a great failure. You can imagine how the son of the soil will team up with people and killed the government representative. 600 in one onslaught. That was so cruel. Now, the Alafin did not have a standing army. That is another problem they had. Because he had to rely on the loyalty of the provincial chiefs to provide troops for him. And when it comes to matter of loyalty, this army will obey their chiefs than their Alafin. It's just like this issue of federal police. When you have a state governor may not have a power to command the commissioner of police. He take order from the inspector general of police. So he had no power to command. So when it becomes, well, they will pay loyalty to their chiefs. As a result, the power of the Alafin weakened, and when his army marched against Egba, led by Arion Kakanfo Lizabi, they were defeated woefully. Now, the Oyo economic position was severely weakened by the decline in the slave trade towards the end of the century, where Oyo was collecting dues, tolls, and tributary from export of slaves from Oyo. So that one closed, and it now put a toll on their economic revenue. And to compensate for the loss, well, taxes were increased. But you see, these taxes had been a cause of problem and resentment amongst the people. And I was one of the factors that made Lizabi to revolt against the Elari and subsequently killed as many as he killed. As Oyo lost control of its tributary states, its economy get worse. People no longer pay tribute as they should pay. Now, the empire was also subjected to increasing pressure from outside, particularly from its northern neighbors, the Bariba and Nupe. In 1783, an Oyo army was heavily defeated by the Bariba, and throughout the 1790s, Oyo was constantly being invaded, so they were not powerful anymore. At this time, the Nupe were also very powerful. So powerful, they said that by 1789, Oyo was itself paying tribute to Nupe. You can imagine the people that they were under their control, they're now paying tributary to them. They were imagining powerful every day. Now, these 5 groups of reasons explain why the power of Oyo was weakened. Remember, the military issue, the economic issue, the disloyalty, in the government, the lack of standing army, and a whole lot of them that we have mentioned here were these reasons. And the final collapse of the empire in the early 19th century can be found in the combination of civil war in Oyo and the invasion of Fulani jihadists from the north. Remember Fulani jihadists we mentioned? This is a good time to remember the foremost jihadists, Usman Dan Fodio. They keep coming from the north, and even as he was not available, his associates were doing the work that he left behind to conquer the territories down to the sea. Now we can see that the jihadists from the north. Civil war started around 1796, where Afonja, the commander-in-chief of Ara Nakakanfo of the Alafis army, allied with the local chief against Abiodun's successor, Aole. Now, Aole was forced to commit suicide. It didn't go down well. It was a forced suicide. He was forced to commit suicide. So he didn't like it. And what did he do? He cursed his people. Awole shot his 3 arrows in the air. Look at the depiction. Shot 3 arrows in the air. Some people call him Aole, some call him Awole. He said, "My cause be on you for your disloyalty and disobedience. So let your children disobey you. If you send them on an errand, let them never return to bring you word again. To all 3 points I shot my arrows, will you be carried as slaves? My cause will carry you to the seas and beyond the seas. Slaves will rule over you, and you, their masters, will become slaves." He shot this arrow before he died because he was asked to commit suicide. That's how Wole depicted, shooting his arrow in the sky with acrimony as he was about to die. And it causes people. But after his death, there followed several years of confusion about who should be his successor. Now, Afonja declared himself independent of Oyo and based in Ilorin. He took control of a large area of northeast Oyo. And in 1817, Afonja made an alliance with the Fulani jihadists to the north. And a force made up of northern slaves, just like Aole has said. Fulani and Oyo Muslims combined and sacked old Oyo. He said that slaves will rule them. Remember reminiscently, he said, "My cause will carry you to the seas and beyond the seas. Slaves will rule you." And what a prophecy fulfilled when Afonja made an alliance with Fulani jihadis and made up of northern slaves to come and invade the territory. So it was quite horrible. So we can see that Oyo faced a lot of issue down to Aole's death. And we have also seen how he caused his people and the significance of the cause on his people. We have also seen the impact of Lizabi from a Balan who killed 600 Elaris in one onslaught. For what? Because they have lost favor. They have become corrupt. They are no longer managing their affairs very well, as most of them thought. The old empire had that issue, and it declined after so many prosperity. So Romeo would have been feeling bad anyway. So that is the Oyo Empire for you. It's been a great time with you on this discourse. Very rich Yoruba culture. We started with the 19th century Yoruba land, and here we are in the Oyo Empire. Subsequently, we're bringing you histories that will help you to know about your people. Because history depicts that the past must wake up in the present so that the future will not be born deformed. The past must wake up in the present so that the future will not be born deformed. He who does not know where the rain start beating him, we don't know where he start drying his body. And he who does not know his past will not know his future. You need to know where you're coming from. You need to know your roots. You need to know things about you. And you need to be historical in nature. History can save you from many problems, from the calamities of the past, so that you will not repeat past mistake. Until we definitely see again, I would always thank you. And may the peace of God be with you all. And may you continue to remain good children. Thank you.